Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gamansing. Top in this newscast, Virgin Islands Next Generation Network officials testified at the Senate Thursday. They provided updates on the broadband project, which ranged from road work to new jobs. Officials say the fiber optics will be lit in stages beginning in July, giving the territory the fastest broadband to date. News 2's Erica Bivens has more on today's Senate session.
viNGN officials testified today before the Senate Committee on Economic Development, Agriculture and Planning, and most senators agreed road conditions were at the top of their list of concerns.
Why wasn't the trench just built in the middle of the lane so cars can just traverse with the trench in the middle?
It should have been, and the desire was to keep it so that it would have straddled the tires. But there were road conditions that didn't allow that to happen in all of the areas.
viNGN officials admit they let vehicles back on the roads before the cement could curate in the trenches, thus causing the rut. Good news is $13 million spent for trenching is finished and paving repairs are now being done.
In St. Croix, that's essentially done. That paving is in progress here in St. Thomas.
viNGN contractors have installed nearly 40 miles of underground conduit as part of the middle mile to bring faster, more reliable internet service.
Where undersea fiber optic cables connect us directly to the world's most concentrated hubs of internet connectivity in New York and Miami.
This network will be open to last mile providers at a much lower price.
Because 80% of the middle mile infrastructure we have built and 80% of the off-island bandwidth we have purchased for the next 15 years has been federally funded.
Grant funding has also allowed viNGN to open 7 public computer centers with a goal of 30 throughout the territory, which will help with the VI's 29% digital literacy rate compared to the U.S. at 78%. Cyber Learning, a vendor of viNGN, is also providing free digital literacy training.
Over 1,300 digital literacy trainings that have been completed thus far.
Another vendor, Connect Space VI, has also announced 220 new jobs.
We have 100 personal technology experts and 120 remote service technicians.
For News 2, I'm Erica Bivens.
Currently, jobs are listed at connectSpaceVI.net. All are full-time positions with hourly pay and include extensive benefits. Well, police say they're continuing the investigation into the suspicious deaths of 2 St. Croix men this month. Kassaun Baptiste and Jose Navarro were found dead in their estate Wim home on May 1st. So far, the autopsy reports have been inconclusive, and officials say more testing is necessary to determine the causes of death. They're not saying anything more than that.
That case is still being actively investigated, and we would prefer at this point to on that, but it's definitely being actively investigated.
Law enforcement officers and residents took time Wednesday to honor those police who pay the ultimate sacrifice, as well as those who serve every day. St. Croix held their annual Peace Officers Memorial, and an emotional former police chief, Christopher Howell, spoke there for what he said might be the last time. News 2's Erica Parsons has that story.
An emotional tribute.
Present! Oh! Oh, God! Present! Oh!
Fellow members of the VI Police Department paid honor to the territory's 15 fallen officers.
Today is a day that we honor and commemorate the police officers in our ranks who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. To them, we salute.
Former Police Chief Christopher Howell was overcome with emotion and urged fellow officers to use their opportunities while they still have them.
This year, unlike the others, is very different for me. And that dissimilarity comes from the fact that I know how lucky I am that my name is not displayed on that stone out front. If you lose your motivation, that common bond that brought you here today can bring you back to this place to look at that stone outside, to read those officers' names, and remind yourself of the opportunity that you still have.
As family members of the fallen looked on, the names of their loved ones were called during roll call, and musical tributes sang in their honor. Both Commissioner Rodney Carrard and Police Chief James Paris said they pray they'll never have to add another name to that list.
I have been on board in this police department for every one of these family comrades, with the exception of 2. And I'm praying that I would never, ever have to attend another funeral for one of us.
If we could have control and never have to have these type of ceremonies, meaning an officer never would get hurt in the line of duty, this would be our wish.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
9 VIPD officers from the St. Thomas-St. John District and 6 VIPD officers from the St. Croix District have fallen in the line of duty. The VIPD is inviting the community to come out to the basketball court in Estate Grove Place Sunday at 4 p.m. There, they will be honoring the volunteers who supported and helped locate 4-year-old Melanie Ferguson, who went missing in March.
We're going to be having a ceremony to give appreciation to the persons who volunteered in the search and successful rescue of 4-year-old Melanie Ferguson. We have people from the viNGN, Virgin Islands National Guard, Bureau of Corrections, VIPD, Waste Management, so many agencies, and especially many people from the community. If you are out there searching and involved in the search with Melanie Ferguson, and you signed in, and even if you didn't sign in, if somebody signed in for you, we have a certificate of appreciation for you.
Meanwhile, Crimestoppers is asking you to continue to help law enforcement control crime. Police remind you, if you know something, say something, even the smallest bit of information, maybe just what law enforcement needs to solve these cases. Well, over on St. Croix, law enforcement still need your help with the investigation into the deaths of Kassaun, K-Force Baptiste, and Jose Navarro. As mentioned earlier, police on St. Croix gave an update during a press conference on Wednesday. Their lifeless bodies were found in the estate Wim on Wednesday, May 1st in the afternoon. Over on St. John, on May 6th, a representative from the University of the Virgin Islands reported that an iPad had been stolen from the St. John office at the marketplace back in January. Tell police what you know about this theft. Now, over on St. Thomas, Thursday, May 9th, around 2:35 p.m., a man was at the Anna's Retreat basketball court when he heard gunfire. He discovered that he had been shot several times. Tell Crimestoppers what you know about these or any other crimes at www.crimestoppersusvi.org or by calling 1-800-222-TIPS. The minimum cash reward for the arrest of a burglar is $714 plus 10% of the retail value of property recovered. The minimum reward for the arrest of an armed assailant is $900. The maximum reward is $2,500. President Obama has chosen a replacement for the IRS commissioner forced to resign amid scandal. He is renewing his pledge to hold accountable those in the tax agency responsible for targeting conservative groups, while lawmakers demand more answers. We get more from Danielle Nottingham at the White House.
President Obama is pledging to work with Congress to get to the bottom of the IRS scandal.
I think we're going to be able to figure out exactly what happened, who was involved, what went wrong.
Fielding questions in the Rose Garden with the Turkish Prime Minister, the president insisted the White House had no knowledge the tax agency was targeting conservative political groups.
The minute I found out about it, then my main focus is making sure that we get the thing fixed.
Wednesday, he fired acting IRS Commissioner Stephen Miller after seeing an Inspector General's report showing the agency used inappropriate criteria to single out groups with names like Tea Party, 9/12, and Patriots that were applying for tax-exempt status. President Obama has tapped one of his senior budget officers, Daniel Werfel, as the new acting commissioner of the IRS. Werfel will step into the top job temporarily as the Justice Department digs into whether any laws were broken at the IRS, and 3 congressional committees press ahead with their own investigations.
Somebody made a decision to do this, and I doubt that it were some low-level employees in the Cincinnati field office.
Leaders of several Tea Party organizations joined Republicans on Capitol Hill, demanding those responsible be held accountable.
We don't ask for special treatment. We only ask for decency and fairness.
Lawyers for some conservative groups plan to file civil lawsuits against the IRS for damages. Danielle Nottingham, News 2.
Keeping our eye on the economy, the unemployment lines got a lot longer last week. The government says the number of people applying for first-time employment benefits jumped 32,000 to 360,000. That comes 1 week after applications hit a 5-year low. But the less volatile 4-week moving average, which investors pay closer attention to, rose just 1,250. Economists say the Labor Department report is further proof that there is no sign of inflation in the economy. This is the New York Stock Exchange with Scotiabank Stock Market Watch. Everything down. The Dow 42, Nasdaq 6, S&P 8. Coming up on News 2, a series of tornadoes slammed North Texas Wednesday night, killing at least 6 people, injuring dozens and destroying homes. Meanwhile, here in the VI, with hurricane season starting June 1st, on Thursday, local and federal agencies, along with volunteer organizations and local businesses, are sharing information about being prepared for disasters. We'll be right back. Diageo USVI, home of Captain Morgan branded rum products and a subsidiary of the world's leading premium beer, wine, and spirits company, announced that Bob Bowman has been appointed Vice President, Operations of Diageo USVI, effective July 1st. Bob succeeds Dan Kirby, who is retiring at the end of July 2013. Bob is currently the Director of Operations at Diageo USVI Distillery on St. Croix and oversees day-to-day operations at the state-of-the-art rum facility. David Gosnell, president of Diageo Global Supply and Procurement, said Dan has been a tremendous asset to Diageo over the years. Well, as News 2 reported, the University of the Virgin Islands 13D competition has again proved to be beneficial to student entrepreneurs. On May 3rd, $80,000 was awarded to UVI students. The competition is made possible by a $5 million gift to UVI from Kirill Sokolov, the founder of 13D Research, as well as innovative companies who sponsors $50,000 a year. How do the winners plan to spend their checks?
We're going to use the prize money to get the general startup going, and later on we'll plan to keep investing the profits back in until we can establish a bigger business.
I will use the money to buy more sales, more product, advertising, attend all those wonderful events and promote my product, bring it back to the Virgin Islands.
I'm going to figure out how much it's going to cost to do some programming and web design and just figure it all out, how I can put this to best use and just get it started. And so I'm going to figure out how much of this I can use to help me do that.
At Innovative, we like to support the community in different ways, and so this is great because we're actually encouraging entrepreneurship and we're encouraging economic development. At the end of the day, that helps everyone. So we're excited to be a part of it this year.
And special thanks to Gears Production, provided that video for us. Well, the Virgin Islands Territorial Emergency Management Agency is hosting the 2013 annual All Hazards Preparedness Expo, with hurricane season starting June 1st. On Thursday, local and federal agencies, along with volunteer organizations and local businesses, were stationed at Tutu Park Mall to provide the community with all the necessary information.
As a part of the continuing awareness for the general community, Vitima holds our annual expo every single year. This is our third annual expo. I think that it's important. It's a call to duty all citizens within the Virgin Islands to make ready, not only for themselves but for their families. So what we're doing here, the local and federal agencies, we're spreading the word. We're asking the citizens to come down and get as much information as they possibly can in terms of preparing themselves and their family. We have local and federal agencies here, anyway from FEMA, Water and Power Authority. We have some people or some agencies from the private sector. We have Carib Supply. We have Cashless. All of those agencies that sell wares that help prepare the citizens here in the territory.
Now, the next expo will be held May 17th on St. John from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Franklin Powell Park, and then on Saturday, May 18th on St. Croix from 10 to 3 at the Butto Park in Frederickstead, and we will have more on the expo on Friday's newscast. The Office of Veterans Affairs wrapped up their week of fairs on St. Croix Thursday. The VA hosted the fairs in each district so veterans could get information about services and local and federal benefits available to them. Dozens of agencies participated in the effort.
We have a whole wealth of programs and agencies. We have the Vet Center that is here for any veterans that needs information pertaining to any of these services. They're here today. We had a pretty good turnout on St. Thomas, and so far this morning, things are really looking good. You know, I'm really proud that so many guys are coming out and really taking advantage of these programs that we have.
Ever so often, I wonder how much this country appreciates the veterans. We know that if we weren't out there, this country could be speaking Russian, Vietnamese, German, but you know, we made it possible for people to study medicine, film, other things, because we went out and fought to defend the country. So we're kind of happy to be veterans, and this makes us glad that people appreciate us.
Well, the Powerball jackpot has soared to $475 million after no tickets matched Wednesday night's drawing. The $475 million jackpot ranks as the second largest for Powerball and third biggest overall. The cash option is an estimated $302.4 million, and the next drawing is Saturday night. The winning numbers for the $360 million jackpot were 2, 11, 26, 34, 41, and a Powerball of 32. Not everyone walked away from the $360 million jackpot a loser. Tickets in Delaware and Pennsylvania won $5 million, and there were 16 states that had 1 million winners. Powerball's largest jackpot to date was $587.5 million. A series of spring tornadoes slammed North Texas Wednesday night, killing at least 6 people, injuring dozens, and destroying homes. Daylight revealed the tornado damage this morning in the hard-hit town of Cleburne, Texas. Dozens of homes were destroyed. Neighborhoods were practically wiped out. Police say at least about a dozen people are unaccounted for, but it is not certain if they left the area on their own. More than 50 people were taken to the hospital. Another tornado hit the small town of Millsap, about 40 miles west of Fort Worth. But in Granbury this morning, there is concern the death toll will rise as crews search damaged homes. Stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.